Syndicate program.
Hello there. Welcome to Blitz Transmissions. I'm Tommy. Welcome to another Blitz Bounties live stream. If you don't know what the Blitz Bounties series is, it's a very all over the place series, to be honest with you. I just kind of stream whenever I can, and honestly, in most cases, it's because I'm too excited about new toys when I get them in. When I get like a pile of loot from Big Bad Toy Store, for example. So you know, I get a little too ahead of myself, and I'm always like, oh, I'll just stream tonight. I don't care if nobody watches. I'll stream tonight. Just get that out of the way. So here we are. Time for another Blitz Bounty stream, guys. I've got a pile of loot to show off today. I've got lots of cool Black Series and TVC pickups, and also a non-Star Wars pickup. Believe it or not, I do sometimes get stuff that isn't related to Star Wars. I have a very small collection, actually, in my on my dresser in my bedroom, where I keep like just some of like my all-time favorites. So let's see here. We got in chat a couple faces, a couple names I recognize, like Mr. Stuck in Carbonite. Shout out for being first. We got Michelle and Lil Beastie. What's going on? We got Carbonites. What's good, Mr. Vincent? I know I have a package from you that's coming in the mail soon, so that's exciting. My goat is also a Rancor Battalion channel member. So if you guys want to join the Rancor Battalion channel membership, you can enjoy all of my reviews early here on YouTube, and you can also get exclusive badges and priority replies in the comment section and vote on what I review next for the channel, just like the Patreon members do. 99 cents a month. You should go check it out. Also, shout out to Tesco Falco for being a Rancor Battalion channel member for 1 month. Appreciate all you guys. So, what's going on? I got some goodies in the mail today. I got home from work, and my beautiful fiance Jen let me know that I got something from Big Bad Toy Store, BBTS. Here's their 2026 sticker. They seem to be doing a different sticker every year. I also got, not to spoil anything, but I got something non-Star Wars. What? Might have to wait till the end, because I know that people don't want it. People come here for Star Wars. They don't come here for non-Star Wars stuff, right? So, I got this pile of loot. Usually I ship my pile of loot let me make sure I don't dox myself first. I usually ship my pile of loot on the first of the month. This one shipped on Thursday and showed up 2 days later. Are you kidding me? Shout out Big Bad. They have been getting really, really quick on the shipping with their pile of loot. Sometimes, you know, maybe a couple years ago, it would take like, you know, like a week or so to get it. Not anymore, dude. They don't do that anymore. Let me see. Do you guys like this setup more? Yeah, I think I like full screen a little bit more. Oh, geez. There I go. Now I'm gone. Oh, my God. There we go. Let's see. Let's take a look here. You guys are in chat right now. Let's take a look at what I got. So, pile of loot this time around is a lot of new stuff. I did not do much adding to my army builders over here, as you can see. But let's take a look at what I got this time around here. So, got some TVC, some Black Series, but this is one that I know you guys are going to question me for, so I'm going to just show it off first. So this is something that I actually don't think I own any of in my collection yet. This might be the first one. It is the Retro Collection Marok. And you would say, oh, you know, get that garbage out of my face. Why the hell did you buy that, Tommy? Well, I bought this because it was an in-stock item. I bought it because the man who is in the Marok suit in the Ahsoka series is going to be at ICC-Con in Murfreesboro, Tennessee this year. So that is a con that I attend every year. Shout out to the fine folks over at ICC-Con. Gave me press for the second year in a row for that convention. So I can't wait to cover that for you guys for the second time in a row as a press member. It'll be my third time covering the convention at all. But yeah, going to get this autograph. The way that I do my autographs on my figures, I usually do them where the first 3 3/4 inch action figure that was made for that character, that the actor or voice actor whatever played, that version of the character, that's what I get signed. I could have gotten the new TVC Marok signed, but that's animation. That's not the guy that's in the suit. So super excited to meet that guy and get that figure signed. So that is kind of like my odd one out. You know what I mean? Let's take a look here. We've got a bunch of Black Series and a bunch of TVC. So let me rifle through some of these Black Series pickups first, shall we? So what I picked up was a bunch of the Mandalorian and Grogu mainline figures. So you guys would have seen I did some reviews on some of the first edition figures to include the Remnant AT-AT driver, the Remnant Stormtrooper, and the Remnant AT-RT driver. However, obviously those are troop builders, so I did also pre-order the mainline versions, and when all of these figures started to hit stores, I had already had my pre-orders from Big Bad saying that they were about to fulfill anyway. So I was kind of like, whatever about that. But check it out. I got the deluxe Mando and Grogu here. So you're going to see reviews for all of the Black Series figures you see here today. So that's super exciting. But yeah, got my deluxe Mando Grogu. Super, super stoked for that. And yeah, really excited for this guy. He looks great. He really does. I wish that they gave the metallic look of the Beskar that this guy has to the helmet on that Target exclusive Mando that just recently came out. But I wish they would have been a little consistent there. But I still think the figure looks great. Still think he looks awesome. So really excited to get this guy opened. The Remnant Stormtrooper is great. You get so much playability with it. Its various appearance options. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. You get 4 different versions of which, honestly, that's how troop builders should be. But here's this guy right here. Here is my mainline version of that Stormtrooper right here. Like I said, I did already review. I know some people commented. They were like, why are you opening the first edition boxes? Because it's just a box, man. And I'm very weird about how I army build in Black Series. So, like, I'll buy multiple versions of a figure if it had, like, different packaging and it's technically a different release. I'll buy the same troop builder over again. So here's my out-of-box version. I have my review up for this right now, the Remnant Stormtrooper. So I have this version with the pauldron and the ammo pouch on. And I think the other version that I think I'll just do the ammo pouch like he has on right now in the box. So I'll still review this guy too. I mean, it's technically a different release, so I'll probably do another review on him. Hey, Luffy, what's going on? Welcome in. Welcome in. And then the other ones here, these are the ones I'm just kind of rifling through just because, I already reviewed the first edition versions, but we got the AT-RT driver. Like I said, again, I have a review out on the channel right now for the first edition version. Is that out yet? No, that'll come out tomorrow or Monday. That'll be Monday's video. But if you're a Rancor Battalion channel member or an ARC Trooper in the Patreon, link in the description below, you can check out the review for the first edition version of this guy that's already out. So needless to say, super excited to bust open these army builders and have multiple on the shelf together. You can swap the helmets to see how it looks on the Pagan Mando. I like the silver on the Deluxe Mando. The Glavis one is pretty dull. Really? I'll have to check that out. But, so we did get a couple new figures here that I don't have yet, because there's only one of them. So like I said, I got the Deluxe Mando. And Tesco Falco, I'll have to check that out on later on in the stream, because I do have the Season 1 Pagan and Mando right here, as I almost tossed my Season 2 Mando onto the floor there. But we've also got Colonel Ward, Sigourney Weaver's character. Look at that mug. It actually looks so much better. Why does it look so much better? Oh, it was so focused. It looks so much better in person than it did in the promo shots. She's still got like the crimson chin, very, very strong jawline going on, but I still think the figure looks great though. And mine will probably end up helmet on, and I have to say, that deco on that New Republic helmet looks pretty sweet. Definitely gonna check that out. ATRT driver is a really dope mix between the Shore Trooper and the Snow Trooper. I agree. I'm not gonna lie. I'm also not a huge fan, personally. I don't dislike it, but the Imperial Snow Trooper design, just out of all the Imperial designs, kind of middle of the pack for me, But this guy is really cool because I think it's cool that he includes elements of one of my favorite versions of the newer trooper variants from Star Wars, being the Shore Trooper, and matches him up with the Snow Trooper, and it makes for a really, really cool design. It looks pretty good. Let's see, what's up, Universalum? I saw a Mando and Grogu screening. At the screening, they gave us exclusive. You did not. No way. Are they showing exclusive screenings this early? Were you part of a test audience? That would be crazy. That would be pretty cool. All that silver paint for Jango Fett probably went to this new Mando. No, so the way that they do this is that they usually will do each figure will have a budget. Like they'll have a budget as to how much they can put into it between paint and new tooling and accessories, you name it. And it's just that figures that are based on new projects, like new media that's coming out, those tend to get more budget because marketing new characters and stuff from newer media, you're already kind of taking a gamble these days because there's a lot of people who have just a general disdain toward new media. So you're kind of like fighting an uphill battle already. Let's see here. Oh, you also saw the exclusive screening for Maul Shadow Lord. Now, I know that was a thing, that they had an exclusive screening for that just very recently. So, But there's a couple of TVC releases that I got as well. So, very excited for these. So the first of which is going to be the deluxe Mando and Grogu. Bada bing, bada boom. I've been wanting to pick this figure up so badly. I saw Scott Solo get it. I saw my friends over at SWTVC pick this guy up. And I was like, ooh, bro, I need this figure in my life. He looks so good. The likeness on the face, on the helmet, looks so good. I'm so excited. And his accessories look pretty good, too. I don't know. The focus is being really weird, and I bring stuff up close, but it's almost like I have to angle it correctly. But it's really good. This looks massively better over the previous versions of Din Djarin they've done for TVC, because before it's like his helmet was very narrow. So I'm very happy to have a nice, new version on a new sculpt, and being someone that's only very recently gotten so heavily into TVC, that's something that's really nice for me, right? Next up, we got two figures. I'm so excited for these. I wasn't expecting these to ship because Big Bad Toy Store still hasn't even gotten the previous wave, technically, that has like Poggle the Lesser and, the Snow Trooper Commander. But I did get the new Maul Shadow Lord figures. Got Marok here. Had to pick this guy up. When I saw the reveal for this guy, I was like, I can't pass up on this. Can't wait to open this dude up. He looks so good. And I love this like shiny version so much more than the rusted version from Ahsoka. Just the aesthetics of it, regardless of, how poor, in my opinion, the execution was on the Black Series paint job. And then we have the 11th brother, or as Funko for some reason calls him, the Crow. This dude looks insane. I'm so excited for 11th Bro. This guy was a figure that I didn't even know that I wanted, because I saw him in Tales of the Jedi. He gets cut down by Ahsoka, and I was like, nah, I don't care if I ever get this dude in Black Series or TVC. And now he's coming in both lines, and I'm so stoked for this figure here. He looks great as well. I've seen some crazy posing from people on this guy. He also looks really tall. He looks very lanky. I wonder if he's about the same height as Marok here. If I put the cards side by side, you can see their feet are about the same. It's more so the hood Looks a little bit, makes him look a little taller there. But, ooh, look at that focus was good. Yeah, look at that guy. I'm so excited to open both of these up. Okay, in Shadow Lord, Maul is called, or 11th Bro is called the Crow. Do they say why, or is it just like his nickname, like how in Rebels, 8th Brother calls Maul the Shadow? Interesting. His mask goes insanely hard. Too bad he gets offed in like two. Well, hey, we know he's gonna live in Maul Shadow Lord because he can't die twice unless he's, Night Sister fart, But yeah, super super cool. But let's see. Anything else? Okay. I did also pick up. You saw I did my review recently, but I have a few more of these. One of these is going to the Patreon giveaway pool. Our TVC Obi-Wan and 212th Trooper. Very excited about that. Death by Monkeys, if you're watching, I'll be hitting you up. Hey, what's going on, dude? It's Star Wars and Brews in the chat, who's an ARC Trooper in the Patreon and a Rancor Battalion channel member here. Yes, that is a W2 pack. Conchu. Dude, too funny. Hey! Shout out to Star Wars and Brews. $5 super chat. Star Wars haul. Better believe it, brother. Now, I saved this one towards the end because I knew I was going to want to talk a little bit more about this one. I got not one, but I got two. ATRTs, the Imperial Remnant ATRT. Look at that sucker, dude. Dude, look at that sucker. How cool is that? How cool is that? The packaging on this is great, dude. I can't wait to open one. Guess what? I'm going to open one right now on the stream, give you my live reactions. Because I bought two of them. So I am going to open one and review it, obviously. But when it comes to troop builders and things like this, you know me. You know I'm always going to get multiple when it comes to TVC. That's a thing of beauty, I agree. That's a great... I can answer questions about Mando and Grogu and Maul. I think I kind of want to save my excitement for when I watch it. Yeah. Kind of want to save it for that. But let's see here. Need 4 ATRTs. No. No. With how much I spend on TVC, I will not be getting 4 ATRTs unless the movie's like amazing and I see that there are 4 on screen. That'll be the only way that I do that. So bear with me here. I'm going to pop open one of these ATRTs. We'll check it out live on camera here. So check it out. Check it out. Veils. Veils made 2 new camo ATRTs. Yeah, the camo ATRTs are based on some Hasbro original designs. Back in 2005, I think it was, there was like part of the Revenge of the Sith line was this like 2-pack of they were electronic, they were like battery powered, they would walk, Hey, Keegan, what's going on? Welcome in, welcome in. Let's take a look here. All right, live unboxing. So you get it, and then you get what I just throw on the ground. Some just fell. Oh shoot! It was the blast effect. This look how flimsy this is. It's just very malleable. It's probably a good thing, honestly, that the blast effect is so malleable. Just because. Yeah, let's see. All right. So you get it. It looks like this. The blast effect would go right here. You get the ATRT. You got some assembly required, but then they did a really good job of giving you the trooper on a card here. So you get the Imperial Remnant ATRT driver on a card. It's unpunched. No, why would you do that? And here he is on the back. Get some cool card art. I will review this on a full review. We'll talk about it, but until then, let's open him up now. I'm so excited, dude. Let's check him out. All right, so we got the blaster pistol is his only accessory, so the exact same as what we get with the Black Series version. So let's take a look here. Here is the figure. Here he is in hand.
if my webcam wants to focus. It does not. I don't know why. I'm still trying to figure out, guys. I've had a webcam for a while, but I feel like there's no real good way to get it to focus here. Also, did I see the goat shelf life in here a little earlier? Yeah, I got the new Mando and Stormtrooper today. Opened them up. They're fantastic. Mando looks phenomenal. Love the gear. Stormtrooper, dude, they need to stick with this this new weathering that they're doing here. But yeah, this guy looks great. He's got some great paint apps here. Got some great detail on the back of the head. But there he goes. There he goes. And a plus over the Black Series version. Look at that soft goods comma. That's what I wish the Black Series version had. Otherwise, though, this looks almost identical to what we see with the Black Series version. They even gave him the O-ring shoulders that the Black Series has. How crazy is that? But let's bust open the ATRT. Man, I can't wait for this to get redone as a Clone Wars version. I cannot wait. But let's take a look here. Let's get these. So it's really just 3 pieces. It's about what you'd expect. And whoa, let's take a look. God, I've almost forgot about the flight stand. Ooh, I'm so excited that it comes with a stand, dude. I remember that being like such a big deal when I first saw the reveal, was that he came with a stand. So let's bust this open. So here is the base of the stand. Just a circular little clear disc here. Nothing really to take note of here, but that's fine. Oh, dude, I was looking at old chats. I'm sitting here like, why is the chat not updated? All right, but let's take a look here. We've got the main arm of the stand. It's kind of funny. It is smaller in real life than I expected. I kind of forget that this is 3 3/4. So this should connect just like, or I'll throw it on the ground. How about that? It should connect just like that. That looks great. Very nice. It feels very sturdy. I feel like that arm piece is going to fall out. There's our stand there. Sweet. Let's see. Love the Shore Trooper design. Need an update for him in Rogue One. Even the Death Trooper. If you're talking about Black Series, definitely agree. The sculpt is very, very lackluster. But, alright, let's take a look here. So it looks like these just kind of pop into place. And I won't lie, this is so much smaller than I thought it would be. In a good way. Like I said, in a very good way. Because when it comes to, space, things can get really big really quick. Let's see. Let's get this posed up like that. Get that like that. The joints are like soft ratchets, which is nice. I like that. But here it is. Here's the ATRT. All ready to go. Dude, this thing looks amazing. I'm so excited to have this. The weathering on the feet looks really good too. It is the dot matrix weathering style. But I feel like this is what dot matrix is best applied for, is the smaller scale like this. But yeah, so Chris Reif over at the Hasbro Star Wars team, he designed the Republic gunship, and he said that they were designing this around the same time, and he said they specifically made the ATRT so that it would be able to fit inside of the Republic gunship. So that is awesome. And just to kind of show you how this all goes together, you can actually fold the legs up like this so that you can actually get it to sit. This actually sits like this. You can see that I can hold it in my hand. It's not too front heavy. And it could sit like this in the back of the gunship. How freaking cool is that, dude? But it fits in the back of the TVC AT-AT as well. Wow. Pretty crazy, man. Sweet. But yeah, let's take a look here. So it's got several joints. So it's got these like ratcheted joints here at the ankles. It can bend them back pretty far. Bend them forward pretty good too. You can see that. And then it's got these dog leg joints can move as well. And then let me actually show it to you instead of showing it to myself. It's got those dog leg joints that are ratcheted, and it's got like pretend hydraulics here. You can extend it in and out, and there's this little piston piece here, this little faux hydraulic that moves in and out with it. That's pretty awesome. And the joint up here at the top also moves. So every major joint of the leg actually moves. And that is something that no previous TVC walker has been able to do. Now, it's kind of funny. I'm looking at my my Hot Toys version for reference, and I still think it's insane that Hot Toys got to this before TVC or Black Series did. But we've got our nose gun here, which articulates, and the more that I'm looking at this sculpt, I'm seeing that, like, in every way, they've already kind of future-proofed it so that they could swap out parts and make it into the Clone Wars version. Because on the Imperial version, these two antennae, the back one is shorter. On the Clone Wars version, this is just one piece they could pop out and change. These little engine pieces here, I'll call them the mufflers on the back here, these are not on the Clone Wars version, and that's a separate piece to the sculpt as well. So they future-proof that. They could totally just remove that. And then the gun, the main nose gun, in the Clone Wars, it's one single barrel. It's not this double-barreled AT-ST style look that they gave to the Imperial version. So this is also obviously a separate piece you can just remove and replace. So they've done a really good job of getting the major parts of the vehicle that you would want changed for the Clone Wars version, which obviously I think we all knew the Clone Wars version was coming if this one was coming out first. But I think it was smart to get this one out first and, you know, kind of drum up some additional hype for the movie. As for the handles, those do move a little bit. You can see those kind of have their own moving parts here. Those look pretty good. The control panels are painted. There's tons of painted detail on this thing, and something I even notice is, like, on some of the ridges and edges, you probably won't even notice it. Oh yeah, it actually, the light hits it nicely. You can see those little hits of silver, and on those hits of silver, that's like where it's supposed to be like bare metal underneath the paint, the grayscale paint. So they took a Clone Wars design and made it very Imperial. Super, super cool. Yeah, modular in a way. I'd say that's a good way to describe it. But yeah, super, super cool. So let me get the little figure on there, and then we'll show it posed up. I'm pretty ecstatic about this thing, man. I'm not gonna lie. So the figure has got some pretty good articulation, so that's always good too. It's always good when the rider has good articulation. I know that people also already found that the deluxe TVC Mando can fit on there, which is great. We've got you can get the blaster pistol in this guy's hand very easily. That's what that looks like with the blaster pistol in hand. I don't know why the figure's having such a hard time focusing, but let's get this guy onto the vehicle here. So if we wanted to, I think the best way to go about this is to get the comma to kind of sit flush with his back of his legs, and then just sit it, the whole thing, on the vehicle there. So we'll have the figure's feet there. We'll have the hand on the handlebars. I kind of want him to be aiming with the pistol. That could be really cool. That's how I have my Hot Toys version with the ARF Trooper. But, alright, let's see. Give me that hand in the handlebar there. He sits on there really nicely. He sits on there. He fits very naturally. There we go. Look at that. Here's our ATRT driver on the ATRT. That looks sick. I love that. That's awesome, dude. Super, super cool. And then let's check it out with the flight stand. So I will say, they did a great job of cleverly hiding the socket for the ball joint for the flight stand. It's right here in the butt of the vehicle. What's up, TD3 Trooper, Rancor Battalion channel member? Thanks for jumping in. Hey, dude. Gonna look great. Repainted for 501st and Kashyyyk Troopers. I hope, dude. I hope. But yeah, so you plug this into the back of the vehicle, and that doesn't necessarily, like, I kind of expected to feel it pop into place, but you can get it to stand perfectly forward with the stand on it. However, I will say it stands perfectly fine without the clear flight stand, but it almost looks like a tabletop piece like this, doesn't it? Like, it reminds me of like an old tabletop game or like Star Wars Legion. Very cool. Now let's try and get it into some walking poses here, because I'm not gonna lie, I was talking some smack on the walking poses that some of these other channels were doing. But yeah, here's just a basic one leg forward, one leg back pose. That's pretty deep. It's pretty basic, about as basic as it gets with one of these. But I guess we want. I guess we kind of want the running version, right? So the thing with the running version is that they kind of like bring one leg forward and one leg back. Oh, and I kind of forget that like you can. It's a lot of moving parts, but in a good way. So like I kind of forget that this is ratcheted itself. You can lift the whole thing on the flight stand up. So I kind of forget about that, but yeah, there we go. You can kick the leg back there. There we go. See, I like that. That to me looks much more natural than what I saw some people doing. But look at that. That's sick. What a great moving pose there. Lean the gun up a little bit. So it looks like he's actively shooting. I wonder if I can get him like, cause in the I always think of the ARF troopers in the Clone Wars show. They're kind of like they're holding the handlebars. They're kind of like leaning down on, you know. So let's get this guy. Great thing is he has blaster pistol storage on the figure, so you can slip the blaster pistol in the holster. That sits in there perfectly. And then let's see if we can't. I might have to pose him, like pre-pose him for like to get on the vehicle how I want him to. Let's see. Do this. Do this. Yeah, that's the only thing is it's kind of difficult to bring his head back here, you know. So I might have to really lean into the other motion of the figure, like the ball joint and the torso and such, to kind of get that motion that I'm thinking of. There we go. All right, let's see how that looks. TD3 Trooper giving some feedback. Can it stand on one foot without the stand? It's a good question. Let's try and figure that out. Let's get this Trooper on here first. I will say it's really easy to get the figure on the vehicle. Sometimes, I mean, if you've collected action figures or, you know, especially Star Wars toys for a while, then you'll know, like, there have been some really, really frustrating releases as far as getting the figures to sit on the vehicle and, like, get a natural-looking fit on the vehicle. But in the case of the ATRT driver, it's not difficult at all. I mean, everything kind of, like, just naturally goes into place on this guy. You can get a really natural looking riding pose for him. It wasn't hard for me to achieve this pose at all. So there's that. Okay, and very clearly it's easy to get the flight stand removed from the release. So okay, so you were asking, TD3 Trooper wanted to know about a one-legged pose. I think that's going to be hard just from the nature of this vehicle. Like, it's a lot of times when I do one-legged action figure poses, I'm able to kind of, you know, torque the torso a little bit. So I don't think that without the flight stand, it's going to be able to, you know, even if it's more, yeah, it's just that the vehicle is so, like, the way the legs are, they're so wide out from the middle of the body that if you're, like, trying to, like, bring one, maybe we could get, like, it marching forward. I don't know. I'm going to try to, maybe something like this, where it's, like, about to take a step down. Yeah, I don't think so, man. I think it's actually impossible to get this in a one-legged pose, just because of the nature of the way the vehicle, you know, moves. Now that I can, you know, figure how words work. What I will do though, this is very nostalgic for me. I had, when I was a kid, the Clone Wars line, the animated Clone Wars line, had an ATRT, and I always would do it in a pose because it was more limited articulation. But I always would do a pose like this: one leg forward, one leg back, kind of like it's, you know, leaning into itself to give it that more accurate looking pose. And that is a pose that can, I mean, when you have both legs on the ground, it can pose no problem. Now I wonder, TD3 Trooper, if we can get like a mid-stride pose to work. So we'll kind of set this. Ooh, look at that. These move too. These little footrests. That's cool. Didn't expect that. All right, let's take a look here. So, TD3 Trooper, I'll let you know if I can do kind of like a mid-stride, because then technically the toes of one leg are touching the ground. Also, Dude, get this guy out of here. This Darth Moocher guy. I hate that guy. He's a Trekkie, dude. We don't mess with Trekkies over here on Blitz Transmissions, dude. Get the Trekkie out of my face. But, let's see. Let's see if I can't get this to, like, the big thing is balance, you know? You kind of want, ooh, okay. So, TD3 Trooper, to your point, if you're still watching, you can achieve this pose because the toe on the leg that's kind of like moving backwards is the one that will balance it. So this pose here is about as close as you can get to a one-legged pose. Like I said, I think a one-legged pose is going to quite literally be impossible with this release just because of the nature of how it's balanced, and you know the legs are so integral to how it's balanced. But you can achieve a really nice pose here with the one leg forward and the toes of the other leg back. So that is something you can do. So something to take into consideration there if you don't want to use the flight stand. I think the flight stand is just such a great addition to this release. It's just something I never would have even thought of wanting with a release like this. But yeah, we have it. There we go. Look at that. Nice little pose there. It's a ball joint too, so you can get some nice movement with it. And again, this just reminds me so much of like a tabletop game piece, just because of the base and all that stuff. Oh, and let's not forget our little blast effect here, which, like I said earlier, it's very flimsy, but it's probably a good thing that's not brittle. But there are holes in the fronts of the barrels, and you could stick this in either way. Look at that. Got our blast effects there. This is a freaking fantastic release, dude. I'm so happy with this one. What a great release here. The figure's great. The vehicle's great. Man, I can't wait. This might be one of the first things I review on my next couple days off work. So excited. Made 1/6 driver with Hot Toys and Snow Trooper, Shore Trooper parts. Hey, dude. I think it's coming. But super cool, man. Look at that. But yeah, so that's my pile of loot. I did grab 2 of these, so my unopened one is right here. So ultimately, you will see on one of these TVC shelves back here, I will eventually have the 2 ATRTs. Let's mess around with something real quick too. While we're doing this, let me take a classic trooper here that I have several dozen of. The 501st Clone Trooper here. You can see this one I've got in a nice little kneeling pose. We'll take him and we'll put him on the walker here, because I kind of want to see how these Clone Troopers with this newest Clone Trooper body, how they interact with the ATRT. I think Hasbro would be completely remiss to not put the Clone Troopers on this thing. So we'll see. I thought I would need to like curl the figure up a lot more than I actually do, but there's our sitting pose here. I think this is a pose that will, just eyeballing it, I think this is a pose we'll get for that. So let's take our ATRT driver off, which, I mean, even the figure by himself, really great figure. And I'm going to be honest, I think the TVC version is a better figure than Black Series. Just handling it right now, I think it's just more posable because it doesn't have the hard plastic comma, and it's got the soft goods comma. Looks great, dude. What a great looking fig. But, yeah, let me see. We'll take the Clone Trooper, stick him on there. Yeah, the feet fit right into the feet guards there, and we can get the hands into the... Oh, dude, this thing was made perfectly for a Clone Trooper. Oh, yeah, we could fit a Clone Trooper on this thing all day long, dude. Yeah, this looks great. Yeah, look at that. The 501st, the mighty 501st on the ATRT. Now just give me this in Clone Wars colors. That's all I need, and I'll go nuts. And though that one is one that I'll buy a lot more than 2 of, but yeah, give me a 501st ARF Trooper on this guy here. That's all I need to see. Super cool. Can't wait, dude. 1 foot challenge. Yeah, dude. But there was one other thing that I picked up, so I'll talk about that real quick. So let's talk about a figure that, you know, isn't Star Wars. So this is where everyone's going to leave. But I have a small collection on my dresser in my bedroom. And that collection is for main characters from movies, video games, you know, kind of whatever, TV shows that I really resonated with as a kid. I was maybe had a phase with, I was obsessed with as a kid. And so in this case, it is the Mezco Samurai Jack. So this is just a basic pose I did for him. I had a long day at work today, so I didn't even have a chance to even open this dude up until about 10 minutes before the stream. And this is just a basic pose I got him into, but wow, man. Samurai Jack looks just amazing. I mean, all the clothing is soft goods, and it is wired on the outside here. And he's got all different kinds of looks, but some of them are from the earlier seasons, some of them are from the later seasons. He's got just a whole slew of swappable hands here. You can see he comes with closed fist hands, so I kind of took off some of the hands and replaced them. But he's also got his straw hat that he includes, so that's super cool. He's got his a couple different hair pieces, so there is sometimes where the front of his hair kind of drips down. That's cool. And then he's got his long wavy hair from the final season of Samurai Jack. That's neat. He's got 4 different face plates, which is awesome. He has the bandage that can go over his eye. And then he's got his bow and arrow, which actually works. I love that it has a twang to the string on the bow and arrow. That's super cool. Comes with 3 arrows in it, and then he comes with this backdrop piece, which I probably will end up including, which is this right here. You can just slip that into place there. A samurai wielding a magic sword. That's how Aku, main villain of the show, says Samurai Jack's name. So this is how those look. There's Jack in front of the little background there. That's super, super sick. But I love the Scottish guy from Samurai Jack. I know exactly who you're talking about too, with the machine gun leg. Such a stupid. But yeah, that was a great episode. The one on the bridge, my favorite episode. One of my favorite episodes. But then what's really cool too is he comes with this stand, and this stand has a base on it. And look at that, dude. Look how sick that is. Samurai Jack is created by Genndy Tartakovsky, the same guy who created the 03 Clone Wars. So that's super cool, but that stand is sick. I'm trying to decide, ultimately, there's so many options with this guy, how I want to display him. But I think he looks... They nailed it. It's like a hot toy at the 1/12 scale. A 6-inch scale hot toy. He looks awesome. I'm so excited to, just mess around with him. It is fun, as much as I love ban this guy. Somebody ban this guy. Get him out of here. Mooch, ban him. It is fun to review figures, and that's a huge part of my channel. But as much fun as it is to review figures, I do have a lot of fun every now and again. This is just my way to, do what most collectors do and just enjoy the figure that I open without feeling like an obligation to, do a review on it. So this is just a really fun figure. And again, ooh, good idea, Bly. Pose him differently every day. Could do that. Also, Rex, what's going on? Welcome in. But yeah, guys, so that's my pile of loot. I'll show it off one more time. So let's see. Also, by the way, sorry if I've been low energy this stream. I am extremely tired. It's been, like I said, I had a long day at work, and I've just been kind of going through the motions, more or less. Just I wanted to get this stream done so that I could start reviewing these figures. But the one pickup that I'm not going to open from this pile of loot, the Retro Collection Marok. This is for me to get signed at ICCCon because the Retro Collection Marok was the first 3 3/4 inch scale Marok that ever got done for this version of the character that I'm getting signed by the man in the suit at ICCCon. So that's going to be a cool one. And then as far as Black Series goes, picked up some troop builders that I already have reviews out for the first editions of. But We're going to be doing additional reviews, like, unboxings, checking them out for the mainline versions. I'm excited because I don't have 2 of each of these guys, and because they did such a good job of setting up the Remnant Stormtrooper with the different pauldron setups, you can have up to 4 unique versions of this guy. So I think I'm going to do just the ammo pouches on him just to keep him, looking a little bit different. And let me just... Okay, we're going to have a avalanche here. Jeez Louise. But rest of this wave, our deluxe Mandalorian. Super excited to get this guy reviewed. Really, really excited for this guy. So many accessories. He looks fantastic. I bet he poses great too. I know Shelf Life just opened his today. He was sending me pictures. And I'm super excited. Better late than never on those reviews sometimes, guys. But I've had a lot of reviews recently that have been doing well. So I'm very proud of that. And then the final member of the wave is Colonel Ward. Of course, I did find the AT-AT driver. It's not AT-AT, it's AT-AT. I did find the AT-AT driver at Walmart, and my pre-order had not shipped already for that. So I bought that one in store, canceled my pre-order. However, when it comes to Colonel Ward, her and everybody else, their pre-orders were already shipped from Big Bad. So I got Colonel Ward, and again, her likeness, nowhere near as bad as I thought it was going to be. Then we've got Vintage Collection. We've got the Deluxe Mando and Grogu. Looks great. Just as good as the Black Series version. Love to see that. There it is, Bolts. You got it right. The AT-AT driver. There we go. Yes! We have Aku, a samurai wielding a magic sword. Let's see. My dad and I used to watch Samurai Jack all the time. But then, of course, got both the new Inquisitors. Super excited that both of these guys came in. Marok and the 11th brother. These guys look fantastic. Literally peak. These guys are peak. As the kids would say, as Moocher says. This thing is peak. Very, very cool. So there's that. And then... let's see what else we got here. Oh, the big one. I opened one already. Here is the AT-RT driver for TVC. You guys got to see my live reaction and unboxing for the AT-RT. And of course, we've got a clone trooper on there. Because why the hell not? Why wouldn't we? And then we still have an unopened one to do a full comprehensive Blitz transmissions review on. And again, if they do a Clone Wars version, I think immediately I'm in on 8 of them. Immediately. So, yeah, very, very, very excited for that. And then, of course, the final thing was our Samurai Jack. I keep wanting to call him Jack Black. I don't know why I keep wanting to say Jack Black, but we've got Samurai Jack here. Again, that's just a basic pose I put together for him. But, yeah, super, super cool. And then I've got... I'm going through the Chronicles of Walshart Sucking right now. Because I ordered 5 of these. Obi-Wan Kenobi and 2 12th Airborne 2-packs. And I've only received 4. And Walmart keeps pretending that the 5th one is going to get delivered. And I think I'm just going to ask them for a refund and then just order another one because it's in stock right now. But I had bought 5 originally... and, I mean, I don't need 5. I got 5 because I got one for Shelf Life, but then he was able to get one. I've already opened and reviewed one. I got another set to keep the 2/12 on card. One's for Bly. One is for the Patreon giveaway. So that covers all 4, right? Need a Samurai Lizzo to go with Samurai Jack Black? Hey, that'd be pretty cool. No. But, yeah, dude. I'm really... yeah, Walmart is lost in the sauce, dude. It's been so frustrating. It's like, I totally understand, like, things can happen, things can get mixed up, but I have consistently so many issues with Walmart. They don't know how to ship anything. They ship things like trash. They don't know what they're doing. And it's very, very frustrating. I wish they cared even a little bit, but, you know. That's what happens when you're dealing with the biggest corpo of the big corpos, you know. Some old cat lady got your 5th one in her kitty chow somehow. Let's see. The ATRT, I'm going to put plain Phase 2 clones to create early Empire. Ooh. Let me put one of those guys in there and show you what that looks like real quick. This is going to be bad. I'm going to knock over a ton of figures doing this. Come on. Let's pick one that's posed relatively easily. Ooh, there we go. All right, we were able to pluck him out. Pluck him out of the ranks. Our plain Phase 2. This is from the 4-pack. That came with the 332nd and then the 2 501st. So we'll take our 501st off. It's the same figure. I mean, other than the paint deco, it's quite literally the same. But we'll get this guy posed up nonetheless. On there. All right. I will say, too, like, it is super easy. Take this comment down here. Yeah, no kidding. They don't care. But it is super easy. Like, I can just get the most basic of poses for these figures. And the clone fits in the ATRT just as easily as the ATRT driver does. And the hands are super easy to get to fit on the grips of the vehicle here. You just gotta... I'm just doing it at a weird angle there. But yeah, super, super cool. There we go. I guess I should bend the knees a little bit more just to get them to sit a little better on the vehicle. But the feet fit in the footrests perfectly. The body fits in great. All the proportions look nice. And we can get a really good looking figure. There we go. Look at that. There it is, Rex. You asked for it. There's your Phase 2 Clone Trooper sitting very nicely, might I add, on our ATRT. Looking really sick. That was a smart idea, man. Good shout. Good shout on that. That's really awesome. eBayers are already selling the vehicle separately. There you go. So even if you don't want the ATRT driver, which, by the way, I think is a cool figure. Yeah, good shout, man. Good shout. It does look amazing. I agree. Such a great early Empire design. And you know those clone troopers were rocking those ATRTs when the Empire switched over. And again, just look at that. That plucks off really easily. You can pluck it off the flight stand super easily as well. Takes like little to no effort to do that. And you just get some really, really nice posing here. What I love, one of my favorite moments on these things is, when they're just kind of like leaned forward and the troopers are like, yelling and like, look at that. That just looks so good, man. This thing is just one of my favorite toys. Black Series needs to catch up. TVC and Hot Toys already have one now. We need an official Black Series ATRT. What are we doing, man? TVC 3 3/4 inch. Yeah, TVC. I'm not going to lie, guys. More and more, Vintage Collection just excites me so much more than Black Series. Like, just what they're putting out. Like, the Black Series figures that are coming out right now are truly amazing figures. But it's the kinds of things outside of just individual figures that TVC is doing that I think is attracting me more and more to that line. And by the way, I don't remember who it was, but somebody had mentioned they wanted to see a side-by-side of the Pagan and Mando next to pile of loot boxes. Trying to trip me here. Next to the... You can see it's just a lot more dull on the Target exclusive Mando than it is on our deluxe Mando. Wow, look how well that focused. This is because this loose figure, is a plastic piece. And the deluxe version seems to be painted, or at least whatever they did made the metallic look so much better. But, I mean, both of these are amazing figures. That's the thing with Black Series, is they're making, like, masterpiece figures. But yeah, TVC just has been getting me with that world building. And I'm so amped to get my Republic gunships in, because there's a whole setup I can build around the Republic gunships, and like these ATRTs, they're going to be part of that. This is just one component in that final setup there. So yeah, dude, I can't stop messing with this. Too cool. But yeah, guys, that was my pile of loot. Again, apologies if I was a little low energy on this one. Very, very tired. I'm actually going to probably go to bed soon after this. Tomorrow is Easter. of course. So get ready for Easter. Hey, bark speeders are coming. They're coming because they retrofitted the Republic gunship to fit both ATRTs and bark speeders. So never to fear, we will get both. Who said that? I don't know. Someone just hacked the audio here. But yeah, so tomorrow's Easter. There won't be a video tomorrow. I'll just have a fun little post that I'll put out for like Easter with some figure photography. And then on Monday, we'll be back to the regularly scheduled programming with reviews and Sarlacc Digest Toy Chest and all of our other awesome stuff. So thanks guys for tuning in for this, very last minute stream. It was literally just, I was super tired today. I got home from work and I was like, oh yeah, I need to get this pile of loot opened because, well, this is the other thing. So ARC Troopers in the Patreon and Rancor Battalion channel members, keep a lookout. I'm going to make a post of all the stuff I showed off from the pile of loot. You guys will get to pick what I review first out of that pile of loot. So you'll get to comment on Patreon. If you're an ARC Trooper, if you're a channel member, you'll get to comment on YouTube. I'll tally it all up tomorrow, between tonight and tomorrow, and then we'll get some reviews out starting this Tuesday. I think we'll start getting these reviews out. So yeah, with that, I don't know what you're talking about, man. I don't know what you're talking about. You want to see more clones? Oh, I can tell you there's more clones coming in Black Series and TVC. I just can't tell you which ones. But once we get past June, if you're a Black Series fan, you should take a look back at the 2025 Order 66 March Madness bracket, and maybe we could play some bingo. See what clones come out first. That's all I can say. But yeah, guys, thanks for checking out the stream. Thanks for joining this, super last minute stream. Thanks for opening this wonderful ATRT with me. I'm very happy that I got to do that. So thank you guys for that. And of course, as always, guys, thanks for checking out the stream. I'll catch you for the next one. And as always, may the Force be with you.
Breaking off. All units, fire at will. Squad 2, pick a target. Too many, Captain. Watch your stabilizer, Gold 6. Anybody cover me. I got 2 vultures on my tail. You've got to hold them here. Watch your left. I can't shake them.